Unbelievable. Wow. Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at my new Dead Air Wolfman suppressor. And before we get this video started, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to this video's sponsor, which is Seal One. Seal One has been a long-time supporter of the channel. Those guys are incredible. They have a wide variety of firearm cleaning and maintenance supplies. They are bio-based and it actually smells really good too and is non-toxic. Check out their website. They're actually offering you guys a discount code, which is FF-25 at checkout. That's FF-25 at checkout. Gives you guys huge savings, and also it lets them know that you found their website through this ad. I have been trying to get my hands on a Dead Air Wolfman for a very long time. Now, although this is the first impressions of my Dead Air Wolfman, I have been using firearms with the Wolfman on them for a long time. My good friend, the FF Pocket Smith, does have one, so I was running it on his AP5K, but needless to say, I am a fan of the Wolfman. Now, in my short, I talked about some quality control issues with Dead Air, and I think it's kind of funny because sometimes what was once a massive thing in the industry, only like we're talking months ago, is just all of a sudden magically gone, and everyone is giving me crap for talking about QC issues from Dead Air and it's not their fault now and all of these things. Look, I was not impressed with the response that Dead Air had to the quality control issues of the Sierra 5. I was also a little bit agitated with Dead Air just in general from how difficult it was to find any of their devices. We're talking for almost a year just working in a gun shop. I can tell you guys that that gets very agitating. But the fact that other companies had to step forward and warranty repair a product because there was just ghosts and crickets responding in the emails, I think is absolutely unacceptable. Liability and lawsuit aside, you gotta look out for your customers. And I know that yes, Dead Air is making great strides now to move everything in-house, and that is excellent. I hope the company does better, but again, I'm going to call it like I see it, and I was really not happy about that, and it put quite a bad taste in my mouth. Now, I have not had any issues with my Dead Air products, and this Wolfman I picked up at the gun shop that I work at, and it was from a canceled layaway from like 4 years ago. So in this particular instance, it is long before any of the weird QC issues, and I was very excited to get it. I am going to give you guys a bold statement right out of the gate. I think this is the gold standard for pistol caliber carbine suppressors or submachine gun suppressors. This is one of the best pistol suppressors that I have ever heard in the industry, hands down. I don't know that anything currently that I have shot compares to the impressive tone and sound quality of the Wolfman. I love the look of this suppressor. It has a very cool, old school, welded just tube look, which you guys know I'm very partial to. But let's get into some of the specs. So you guys will notice that a majority of the first impressions video, I was running it on my H&K SP5, which I would say the MP5 variation and Wolfman combo is probably about the best that you're ever going to get for the sound quality of 9mm. Now, I was running the 150 grain Syntech, and again, that is just laughably quiet. But in comparison to many of the other 9mm sub-gun-ish cans that I've taken a look at, even that 150 grain Syntech had a little bit of a higher pitched noise to it, and that was in the standard configuration. It all sounded great, but it's worth noting that in the K configuration because the Wolfman, as it sits, is in the L configuration, but it can be shortened to here, which unfortunately I cannot show you the process of doing that here on YouTube. But I was running it primarily in the K configuration, and there was absolutely no need for hearing protection in the K configuration. It sounded like I was dry firing a gun or shooting a suppressed .22, which is, again, beyond impressive in this K configuration. Now, I was noticing that even in the K configuration with supersonic ammunition, it was almost completely hearing safe. I was getting a little bit of a ring in my ears, and with how much I'm shooting these days, I've been experiencing some hearing issues, so I am putting my hearing protection on quite a bit these days. But again, I think as far as a defensive situation, you would have absolutely no problem, even in the K configuration, shooting supersonic ammunition for a mag or two. Supersonic ammo in the full configuration also sounded incredibly good. A lot of the noise was just simply downrange, which is what I would expect with such a large 9mm suppressor. I was running this solely with the tri-lug configuration. The nice thing is I already have a Dead Air Ghost 45, which was part of the reason why I wanted to pick up a Wolfman, because all of your Ghost accessories will fit perfectly on the Wolfman, which of course is excellent. You don't have to worry about swapping things around. Now, it is not Bravo thread pitch, or hub thread pitch, I should say, but I think this is still not too bad. Now, Dead Air still is struggling with getting out accessories. So if you guys are looking for any mounts or things like that, it's probably still going to be pretty hard to run these. I did not run my Wolfman on any sort of a handgun because I just, for one, don't really even like running handguns suppressed anymore, and I think it's very quickly falling out of favor with the market. But also, I just, let's be honest, this is a subgun can. That is kind of what this is designed for. Could you run it on a standard handgun? Of course. I don't know that it would be too obnoxiously large or heavy, but it's definitely going to be larger and heavier than a designated handgun suppressor. The Wolfman is using wipe technology, and I had some issues with this wipe. As you can see, it is quite the gaping, blown out hole there on the end, and that's just with 9mm. As I mentioned, this was sitting in the back for about 4 years, maybe a little more, and I think that wipe kind of dry rot over time because the first round just like popped out a bunch of stuff out the end, as in parts of the wipe, and usually you want it to kind of suction cup over the bullet as it leaves the chamber. In this case, again, I think it was just dry rotted, and I was not experiencing any benefit of the wipe because of that. But I don't really know that a wipe makes a ton of difference anymore the more that I shoot these suppressed. I was running it, of course, on my CZ Scorpion. I think that's a good representation of how it is going to sound being a just straight blowback gun. Those are a little bit slappier, a little bit louder, but on the SP5, man, that thing looks so damn good. Now, I am keeping this as my defensive gun, so in the defensive role, it is in the K configuration, so just stack your ammunition appropriately for that. Again, if you want it to be very quiet, you might have to stack in there some subsonic hollow points or defensive ammunition, but this setup, man, was doing so freaking good. You're going to get a tool in the box for taking off the wipe. It is not user serviceable, so you're not going to want to shoot any rim fires through it or anything like that. But if you are looking for just a subgun can, something to run on an MP5 variant, a Scorpion variant, a Strybog, whatever, again, take this for what you will, but this is the gold standard. If you have any other questions about this can or anything else in the collection, please feel free to drop them down below in the comment section. I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel. And as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.